Wollen wir zum Beach? Wollen wir zum Beach fahren? Come on. Come on.
Whenever I see videos of me talking to the dog, I think I'm the only weird person who makes such a crazy high voice. But I know I'm not, and you are all the same. Hello, awesome friends, and happy Sunday! Welcome back to another new video, and today it's going to be a bit shaky. I did some shit shopping the other day in my most favorite Chinese online store, and I found a GoPro harness and thought that could be funny. And it arrived the other week amazingly fast, and here we go. I put you the link for the harness in the description box, just in case you want to have a look. So now you see the uncut footage of one of our beach walks. It was our very first trial with the harness, and in the beginning of the video you see I had to adjust the harness very often. This is because it's a unidog, unibreed size. So of course it was way too big for Wilma. And also the straps are very stretchy and of course too long. So I already cut quite a bit of the straps at home, but when Wilma started to move, it slipped again, of course, apart from the fact that the camera also has a bit of weight. But towards the end, we had it pretty well figured out. So in this video I'm gonna answer a few questions about Wilma and her life. Let's start with some easy and the most important thing to know about her. Her birthday is on March 15, so it's only 14 days something to go, and she turns 4 this year. She said, "This is a very important day, so please put it in the calendar and send snacks." That's what she said, so please do. The next question was, does Wilma have contact with her siblings? Unfortunately not, but I have to say that the way she came to us was very spontaneous. We have been in Spain only for about half a year, and it took me a while to realize that things were differently down here. So I wrote to a few breeders, and the answer was always no, there's no litter at the moment, or yes, do you want a girl or a boy, and when do you want to pick up the dog? So I'm not really sure if it was because of the language difference or because it's just normal here in the south that there's not much of a breeder-buyer relationship in advance. I'm sure not all of the breeders are like this, but it's really hard to find a good breeder in the area here. So down here there's nothing. So we even had one person who wanted to meet us at the petrol station and hand over the dog there and out of the trunk. And of course I refused immediately because that's total rubbish and we all know that. But also it's not uncommon here to mail animals. Indeed, my face slipped similarly to probably yours now. So whenever you're looking for breeders, strangers come and say they are somewhere in the north of the country, but that wouldn't be a problem because they also mail the puppies. Trust me, that would never be an option. I mean, that's ridiculous. But to bring the story to a good end, we found someone nearby, and although it was very spontaneous, just like I said, the people there were very nice and everything in the house was super neat. They had a big garden and some other dogs, so we trusted them, and as we know today, it was worth it, and thank God there were no bad surprises at all. But please don't do it that way. Nowadays, if we would get a second dog, I would definitely do it differently. What does a day in Wilma's life look like? I got this question a few times, and to be honest, a day in Wilma's life is not very exciting. She gets up very late after 10 a.m. And then we go for a pee poo. And then she has, of course, breakfast. And then again a pee break at noon and dinner around 6. Then we usually go for a longer walkie unless she rejects it. God, this dog is such a stubborn ox. Like most of the people, we have to work during the day, so the longer walks or hiking trips usually taking place at the weekends. But of course, there's also some playtime in between the day. But most of the day, to be honest, she spends sleeping or begging for food. Do you bath her? Oh my goodness, no. Don't get me wrong, I would love to do this, but I can't bring myself to do it. I've been a vegetarian for a few years now, and I can't even smell meat or something without feeling sick. I wanted to do something good for her a few years ago, and I bought chicken stomachs and cooked them, and I almost puked all over the kitchen. But she gets a very good and nutritious dry food, and in addition sometimes chicken and vegetables, of course. And so her coat is very shiny and her poo looks fabulous. So this seems to be good for her. Is Wilma a social dog? Yes and no. She gets on well with most dogs and has no aggressive tendencies at all, except for the neighbor's dogs, which she doesn't like for whatever reason. They are two quite big and fluffy, kind of huskies. And maybe I think she hates them because they are very aggressive on the leash and bark wildly. So I think it's more of a fear reaction of her. But generally, she finds big dogs very, very scary. So that's, I think that's the problem, when she kind of acts like, some would say, aggressive. So she gets along with most of the other dogs. But she isn't really a play dog. We have a dog park near here, and it's a fenced area where the dogs can run and play without a leash. And we spend a lot of time there when Wilma was very small, so within the first year, because we thought that's a good idea to socialize her. But most of the times she just sat somewhere and watched the other dogs playing. So she's not really a social dog, but maybe that's just because we are not very social people, and of course not at the moment. So Does Wilma sleep in your bed? Yes, she does. And I can't blame her, because I would also rather sleep in a bed with a heating blanket than a lousy bed on the stone floor. It's very cold during winter. So, yeah, she sleeps in our bed. Was Wilma a wild puppy? No, we've been very, very, very lucky. She didn't destroy anything except her own toys. But before we got her, I was really afraid she maybe would love to chew on cables, which we do have a lot all around. But no, not one day. So we have been very spoiled with an easygoing puppy, and I'm sure the chance the next dog will be that easy too is not that very high, but we'll see. Which brings us to the next question. Are you planning to get a second dog? And will it also be a Dachshund? And if yes, which coat type will it be? Yes, of course, we want to, but we need to wait for the right time. Right now it's very unsettled, and we are starting to plan the move, and first we need to settle down in the new place, and then it's maybe a better time than now. And I'm 99% sure it's going to be another Dachshund. I would love to adopt another one in need of help, and I have already researched a few aid organizations in our future place of living. However, I'm not sure how easy it will be. I know many of these organizations that have so many requirements that it's almost easier to adopt a child than a dog. Sad, that's really sad, but also somehow understandable. Which coat type? We have not committed ourselves there so far. The easiest thing would of course be to have one of each type. That would pretty clear the best thing ever. I justify this with the fact that I would then have new references and new models, but I think my husband is not yet so convinced. So I hope you're not feeling that sick after watching this video. I do a bit after watching it 3 or 4 times now in a row, but I think it's very funny to see the perspective of a dachshund walking around, and then you just realize how small she really is, and yeah, it's really funny to see the world in her, just almost like through her eyes. So that's all for this week. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel, of course. I think the next videos are going to be more in depth about creating. I have a few ideas, so there's not yet a real fixed plan, but I will figure out this week what I will show you next Sunday. Most important, give us a like, because every like is a treat for Wilma. If you have any topics you would like to see or any questions, then please feel free, put a comment down in the comment section. Just leave a comment. So have a happy and wonderful new week, and see you next week. Bye bye.